Here there's a table and it shows you the different types of indicators which exist. On the left, we've got a title, and on the right, we've got a definition. These are all different types of indicators, and each indicator tracks a particular process or result which is relevant to our intervention. So the input indicator measures the resources and means provided by donors and implementing parties. So that basically is like the amount of funds which have been made available, the amount of funds which have been contracted and dispersed. So this tracks what's going on with the resources that we've got, and it doesn't tell us much more than that. And it's useful if you want to know whether the funds are flowing as you would expect, but it doesn't tell you much more than that. Okay, the next indicator are process indicators, and process indicators basically tell you that your activities are happening, or the things that should happen in your intervention are actually happening during implementation. Yeah, so these are linked mainly to the execution of activities. This means number of meetings held, number of training events that take place, and this kind of thing. So this tells you that, let's say, the implementing partner has done all the things that they said they were going to do in a reporting period. Yeah, again, useful for tracking the day-to-day ongoings of any intervention, but it doesn't really give you a lot of information above and beyond that. Yeah. So if you look at a project, I was looking at a project in Jordan last year. There, the output indicators were numbers of hospitals built. During the implementation, the 3-year implementation of this project, yeah, the value of that output was 0. So as an evaluator, I went and said, you haven't built these hospitals. And they said, no, they're going to be built right at the end. Once we've commissioned them, then it's done. And then the value goes from 0 to 3 or 2, yeah? And I was like, okay, so how do you know that you're actually on the right track? And it's, well, because we've got all of these process indicators which show us that we've committed, we've signed a contract with the subcontractor, that the subcontractor has actually started building the A&E ward, that these different, this equipment has been purchased, that we've now got the medical supplies purchased, yeah, and it's all be ongoing. So this shows all of the different processes which are going on, so that at the end of the process, once those processes are complete, yeah, the output indicator will actually then be fulfilled because the hospitals are built and they're operational, they've been taken over and they're working, yeah. So the process indicators would tell you where the project is in implementing, in its progress towards delivering those outputs. Yeah. So that's where process indicators are useful. Yeah. They'll tell you that, okay, because otherwise, if you just rely on the output indicator, you would say you haven't done your job because you haven't delivered your output. Yeah. Because your output was a built hospital. So maybe that's a useful and easy way to understand what process indicators are or how useful they can be. Below them, we've got 3 other different types of indicators, and they're in a green box. The green box are results indicators. Yes. Yeah. When you want to know what results you're getting, yeah, then you should be very interested in your output indicators, your outcome indicators, and your impact indicators. If you're interested in the implementation, yeah, then you're looking at your process indicators. Okay, so the output indicators basically signals the degree of achievement of the direct products or services by an activity or set of activities. That means it tells us whether the things that the project said it was going to put in place have been put in place or not, or how close we are to doing that. Yeah, I mean, they tend to be quite binary. Yeah, you know, they are there. It is there. The hospital has been built. The capacity has been increased by, I don't know, 250 people have been trained. Yeah, the IT system has been installed and is now working. Yeah, this kind of thing. So that's an output indicator. Now, the outcome indicator is more sophisticated because this should signal whether the change that we've set out to achieve with our target groups is happening or has happened. Yeah. So here we can talk about, and this is where it's important to try and understand like the extent of the change that we're looking to achieve. Yeah, because the outcome indicator should be able to tell us that. When you think about the fact that outcomes are generally changes in a particular state or circumstance, yeah, of our target group, that means that we have to first of all understand what the state of our target group is prior to our indicator, before our intervention started, and then the indicator should somehow track how that change is happening. And the final set of indicators are impact indicators. And these signal whether the changes which we've set out for our final beneficiaries, those kind of wider, changes are actually taking place. Yeah. There's also, I put in there context as well, and context indicators are even higher. And these do generally talk about phenomena which are occurring outside of the scope of the project as such, but these are related to, for example, socioeconomic developments, I don't know, environmental issues, or even security issues. So indicators which indicate changes in that external environment, which may impinge in some way on the overall success of our intervention.